Lower bracket finals, ladies and gentlemen. It's do or die for both these teams. If they lose this best of 3, they're out of the running for grand finals. But if they win, they have another challenge ahead of them. So it's going to be tough. We fully expect this to go all 3 games. All the casters predicted a 2-1 either way. I'm excited to see how this one plays out.
Yep, and what I was talking about, RSG picking up the Benedetta allows him to basically rotate around faster as compared to the opposite laner. But of course, it's like what Hungry Cast said, onto the land of dawn we go. It is going to be a bit of a buff start going in the Kingsmen side, whereas RSG, they'll be bringing LY4 into the mid lane to wave clear quickly, and then after that rotate over to the Little Wanderer, then go to what's their buff.
And he's level 2 already. Meanwhile, LY4 has not picked up that EXP just yet, so faster clear going the way of Kingsmen. A1, A2 actually putting the pressure onto Fossa, which should be okay with the healings for everyone, and now everyone resuming back into the paving to do their full clears. Bot side pressure though is already put down. You can see that Sync is having a great time against the Esmeralda.
Yeah, the best part about Sync, right, is the fact that he can just jump around, but hold on a second, Sync will be able to find Odebambi, but the problem is Sync is actually not level 2 yet, so not most the power spike are unlocked, but Azor coming in for the flank won't be able to commit. In fact, Odebambi is just 1 jungle creep away from level 4.
Oh, actually, Fossa having to use the flicker this early on is a big problem. Bambi, you know he has the kill pressure with the double buffs, and walking in to steal the camp too, he will group up Aso to get some chip damage down on the bot tier 1. Fossa is here, but Fossa cannot defend, especially with Azura X coming in for the backup. I like the plays coming in from Kingsman. We talked about a hit-to-hit. The focus here is going to be Odebambi at LY4, and it looks like Odebambi is the one to get the early advantage right now.
Sync just only hit level 2, whereas Aso is already almost just 1 creep away from level 4. One Aso unlocks at level 4 is going to be big now. Sync doesn't have level 4. Turtle spawning in 4-5 seconds. That's going to be big. Kingsman does have the lead and the Turtle initiative.
Turtle being spawned right now. The rotations come through. A1, A2 though needs that level 4 very importantly for the Fed Airstrike, like you said. These are power spikes that have to be hit. There's no 2 ways about it. You need to get that before you start to contest these objectives. But RSG, they say just forget about it, we'll just go right in. LY4 already having level 4 means that he has the best Sonata. Azura X holding the front line. Sync and Fossa, they are holding up against the invade coming in, the push, but it's going to be claimed by RSG. Their front line doing more than enough. Here comes the Electro final blow onto Aso, though the duo coming through. Sick looking for the challenge. Will not find anything as the Circling Eagle comes in onto Loon. The control is there, and they get the first blood. That is going to be RSG that gets the lead, and your first blood code, ladies and gentlemen, at the bottom of your screen.
Yeah, but at the same time, Sync is a little bit of trouble right there. As of course, the flicker will be able to snipe Sync all the way up, but he'll be fine by Fossa. Fossa doesn't have level 4 as of yet, so no CCs, unfortunately. But so it's actually running low on mana as Fossa chases down. I think he'll be able to pick him up, no, without a doubt anymore, unless this sort of thing happens.
Manages to get to the shrine, he still gets out. Azura X, he's low on health too. Kingsman, although they managed to find some reprieve on the map. It's all equal tied with the latter getting a small lead. Fed the airstrike out. Jason narrowly escapes, gets out of the AoE.
Turtle will be spawning in the bottom side this time around. RSG, they're looking for more lead, therefore they're pushing down the bottom side. If you notice how Aso is actually rotating towards the mid lane, Kingsman also doing the same. They're trading objective for objective. This is where, we're talking about high level Mobile Legends Bang Bang, right? It's just pure objective trade. But here comes Aso jumping in, will be able to dodge away. Sana jumping in a little bit, might be look for a pick-off ejects.
Oh man!
Aso all the way back instead.
Okay, but I feel like that was a safe play, right? You don't want to commit in, especially because you know your team's taking the top side. You don't really have to fight for this one. You on the bottom. It's going to be RSG that also makes this split map play towards the bot tier 2. Kingsmen, they're not stopping. They're continuing to push. Fossa is the first to arrive. Azura X looking for the unstoppable force onto Rafaelo, but will not be able to get it. He commits over onto Sana and Jason instead. The damage is down. He's already out. Sana is destroyed and no longer in this fight, but so is Azura X. There's Sonata onto A1. A2, the final shot coming in. He should be able to secure him here. Good snipes coming from LY4 and Kingsmen. They lose way too much more than they get.
Yeah, the Feather Airstrike was at a very good position, but he will be get sniped out by LY4. If you notice as well, Loon force the Meteor Shower. They want to pressure the mid lane, while RSG definitely has the initiative for this. Turtle now, Azura X looking for some form of ejector, but it won't be stopped. Sync will be get tossed all the way back. Turtle going into the hands of RSG. Azura X looking very low. Sync forced to use the ultimate to jump out. ASO looking for some flanks. I don't think Kingsmen can actually do anything for now, while they only can sit and wait and watch the Turtle get taken down by RSG.
Old is leaning towards RSG right now. It's a small goal lead, but it doesn't mean much unless they can force this and start to scale up. I think the composition does drop off a little bit compared to Kingsmen. Like, when it comes to these fights, the fair airstrike, once you get your Lightning Truncheon on the Farsa and Lightning Truncheon on the Chang'e, that's actually going to hurt. Like, the only tank RSG have, pseudo tank, is the Bane. Who's going to step up to eat the damage? Absolutely no one on the RSG side, so they need to leverage this lead that they have. They need to start finding the fights that they want.
I feel like what RSG should be looking out for, but okay, hold on a second. Azura X, Unstoppable Force, but Jason will be able to shrug that damage off because of the second skill. Will be used to just walk around, but Audio Bambi may catch Jason.
They use the flicker too. Oh no, mid lane A1, A2 falls. A good dive coming in. Sync using the Electo. No, not even the Electo, just the vulnerability and the mobility to dive onto the Farsa. Right now it feels like they're looking for good flicker into the ejector, but they don't get the damage out. Instead, it's Azura X that dies to the Electo final blow. They cast the Deadly Catch 2 for the follow-up damage, but it's not there. Kingsmen, they need to find an answer, but they find absolutely nothing as LY4 throws out the Rhapsody, continuing the damage.
Yep, as you take a look at the map, top side RSG is pretty much wide open. Not much cross-map plays coming up for RSG. Kingsmen, this is the kind of fights they want to look for. They want RSG to engage right on in because they are ready for them with the Feathered Airstrike, with the Meteor Shower. But if you notice, oh my goodness, all the odd
that's the smart
potions
play.
coming
That's
in.
the smart play. It's not that you don't trust your teammates, it's just that you cannot afford to have the ejector go off wrongly here.
We saw that happen.
Azura X needs to find Rafaela, he needs to find Matilda. Like, you need to kill these guys. And even if you don't get the Matilda, she could guide someone out, right? So that's the big problem. And if we're not starting up the Turtle, RSG, they're pulling this towards this side. Kingsmen staring them down, but they don't have the full roster here, so they will back off. Seeing on the minimap that Esmeralda's bot side, Chang'e's top side, Kingsmen decide not to contest this as Feather Airstrike comes out to defend the mid tier 1.
Yeah, for RSG, it's pretty much very hard to siege into Kingsmen, right? You've got very quick wave clear in the form of Meteor Shower as well as the Feather Airstrike. It's very hard to... And then what the A1, A2 can possibly do is just morph, wing by wing, fly all the way up to top side, defend there. So RSG, if they want to win, they have to win by split pushing.
The cross-map players, they like you said, split pushing, but Kingsmen, they recognize the answer is also to split the map. They're pushing on the bot tier 2, RSG now. In a game of chicken, they will be backing off. Here's a Deadly Catch, forces Azura X away from the ejector. Bot tier 2 falling very low though, might just go down as Audio Bambi and company rotate out. A1, A2 takes the shrine, manages to get across the wall. That would have been disastrous if he died there. Yep. I feel like to control this area, A1, A2 is just going to back off. Meanwhile, Azura X getting caught out. This is not a numbers advantage for Kingsmen. In fact, they will have to back out, but look at the damage there. They actually get the kill first, and now it's going to be a trade. Audio Bambi left all alone. Audio Bambi is absolutely dead. Kingsmen, they did not have the numbers. A1, A2 had to back out, so they could not have fought that there. They lose Sana, but RSG get Bambi, they get ASO.
No pun intended, the Deadly Catch is true. Audio Bambi got caught out by RSG. The RSG drive that wedge between the line of Kingsmen, but here comes a Meteor Shower and the Feather Airstrike just to wave clear it away. Next objective will be spawning at 30 seconds. Let's take a look at this replay.
So, meanwhile, after A1, A2 backs off, Kingsman decides to handshake this fight. And yes, they get the burst down onto Sana, that's the target that they want. But all of the ultimates are down at this point. There's no one else for them to... There's no firepower behind them. There's no more bullets to fire. Shouldn't be backing off instead, but they handshake that fight, get caught out.
And Sing going in, but okay, A1, A2 forced to fly away. The Deadly Catch will be able to land the big bad damage coming in as the members of Kingsmen will fall and they will take one turret at the same time. So this is absolutely good for RSG. They just need to win this using this mid lane period. But here comes the defense coming off the Kingsmen. Loon doesn't really have the Meteor Shower, so they can only watch as their mid lane goes down.
Good catch coming from RSG, especially with the Lord up right now. This is a perfect window for them to try and take this objective for themselves. Like we said, based on the stats, RSG as a team uses Lords, uses Turtles to snowball the advantages a lot more. The control is there, the control is good, and they should be able to take this without any contest from Kingsmen. Back against the wall in this game 1 with a 5.5k goal deficit. Kingsmen, they need to dig deep, they need to find something, a spark, to help them reignite their chances at winning game 1.
Yep, they really have to look for this cross-map play, right? RSG was the one who should be split pushing. Now it is up to Kingsmen to be able to win some form of reprieve if they split push. Don't forget RSG, they have a very wide open top side. They also have a kind of wide open bottom side. It just needs one love tap to take down the tier 2 bottom side. But here comes the Lord marching down Kingsman's mid lane.
Lord coming down the mid lane, RSG, they're grouping up. Only Foster is just walking into the jungle trying to get some information. He's scouting out. They know they can pull the trigger once they have full information of where everyone is, and RSG, they're just tempting Kingsmen to contest them. Here comes your Deadly Catch to cancel out the feather airstrike. The Lord is falling very low, but damage on Aso. He has to use the Falling Star Moon to get out. Loon is probably next on the chopping block, but both of them evade the danger at hand, and now RSG, after using the Lord to very little effect in that mid push, they will rotate up to the final outer on the map here and secure it for themselves.
Yeah, top side was really good, right? RSG is using that Lord just to make sure that they gain more map control, but you gotta admit, Jason's Deadly Catch was super good. The Kingsman was forced to just like let go. A bit of damage happening, but here comes the Deadly Catch once again. A1, A2 against kept looking low, but Sayana follows him all the way back in the base. Forced to pull that trigger. Azura X trying to look for more, but he'll get busted down. And the final blow coming up from Sick as well. But ladies and gentlemen, Kingsmen, and they are actually on a roll right here as RSG is just rolling them in a barrel. Okay, Baby looking very low. LY4 looking short. That final Death Sonata will be there to seal the deal. However, there is no more maintenance from the side of RSG. It's just one last wave and one last member from Kingsmen. Baby is the only one left to defend this.
Jason is still healing up. Here comes your Deadly Catch again. Fossa has to be careful. Low on health. There is members on the side of Kingsmen. They can defend, but RSG, they might have been too greedy. Azure X falling very low. Baby chasing in. He knows that LY4 and Fossa are low. They waited too long. They stuck around for too much, and RSG, they get punished. They lose Jason there. Yeah, Kingsmen, they can still defend. Loon is spawning right now. All 5 members of Kingsmen are alive. No real objectives on the map to take, so as much as it was a good defense, it didn't really result in anything. Let's take a look at this replay. So instantly pulling the trigger onto A1, A2. Remember we said you have to be careful of the circling eagle. No matter how far you are, Sana is always going to find you, and that final blow coming in, just the damage from Sing was too much. They should have focused down core here, you have to think, but because they overextended and the ballista went down, the backdoor protection kicked in, they could not finish the game.
Yeah, the meteor shower was used to great success right here. Kingsman, look at that core, only a quarter left. It will heal, but very slowly. RSG, they need that one final push. The next Lord will be coming out in 66 seconds, but it really all depends. If Kingsman were to actually give that clean wipeout over the RSG, the game is over. Look at that, they're actually just, playing it very slow, and so actually getting the Oracle to basically defend against Sana as well as the damage coming from Jason. But I feel like most of the damage coming out from is Sing, but here goes a feather airstrike.
They're coming in for this play. They're looking for the safe play first as Sing gets caught out. He has the Electro Final Blow to get out. They get a mid inhibitor, but Sing will fall for that play. It's a bit unfortunate, but they got what they came for. Losing one member is not the worst thing in the world in those instances. At least you open up some map pressure. RSG is still ahead by 6,500 gold.
Trading away Sing for that turret, worth it? Maybe, because it really opens up the map for RSG.
I mean, he's going to be spawning in time for the Lord, so it's not really the biggest loss in the world. Now, RSG, they're always going to have this mid-pressure. Kingsman is going to have to push out first. They will never have mid-priority unless they leverage and walk up. Fossa here might get caught out. Azura X had the unstoppable force.
I feel like what
tricky there. You don't want to stay in that position.
Yep, I feel like what Kingsman can do, right? They have very big siege units, right? They're actually setting out unstoppable force, landing on top of Fossa. Will get stunned all the way. Feather airstrike coming in, but doesn't hit anyone at all. That was a wasted feather airstrike, if you ask me. RSG may actually seek this opportunity coming in. Aso coming in will get with some damage. So jumping in, diving in. He's going to get a lot of damage coming out from the meteor shower as RSG pushes Kingsman all the way back, and they have lock priority once again.
Now RSG, they don't have all their ultimates. They only have the Electro Final Blow and the Deadly Catch, so they can still turn if they want to. Fossa baiting Azura X in. There's your damage. He puts the shield up. Kingsman, they're still looking for this one. Lord might be going down right now. Jason has to flicker back out. Lord has been taken by RSG, but the fight is breaking out. Kingsman, the damage! They got Bambi! And when A1A2 now has to flee the scene. Aso splitting off to the left, has to sacrifice himself. The marksman hyper carry is dead for Kingsmen, and so is their chances in game 1. You have to think that the push coming in from RSG might just finish this game.
Oh, this is exactly what we're talking about. Kingsman, A1A2 pulled the trigger way too quickly. The feather airstrike doesn't hit the money shot that we're all looking for. If not, this feather airstrike could be it as RSG. This is the one right now. They have to really push in the deadly cash as we'll use the minions coming in. Will be getting shot down by Elu. But then you go LY4, Snipes going in, Snipes down that core as game number 1 goes over to RSG.
Not enough damage to close out, to defend against the minions, right? Even big enough at that point, 7 to 9 minutes in the game. She normally wants to come online at 10 to 12.
What RSG could be potentially look for is to burst that Estes down immediately and then work with the other people as well. Because it's all boils down to this, right? Clint can basically kite backwards as RSG members try to dive. You have dive heavy. Esmeralda is dive heavy. Paquito dives as well. Grok as well to some extent.
Problem is if he kites backward against the dive, right? Like, who else is then dying in his place? Someone has to die. It's not that RSG is jumping in and letting you live, right? Someone has to die. It's probably Lun, it's probably A1A2 as well. The damage in already from Kingsman, easy early pokes coming in. Also very low, immediately has to pop the regen. And Kingsman, even though they don't get the mid lane prio to get the damage done, RSG will now start rotating and taking the Little Wanderer as well as a camp on the top side. If you can take this orange buff away from Clint, this is going to be huge here as Sana is going to walk in, scout this one out, has to be careful. Matilda, it's Estes, not really the most damage in the world, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but of course, this is going to be match point for RSG, right? LY4 will be able to take the orange buff away.
Oh no, this is a disaster. He gets 2 buffs and now Odia Bambi is going to walk up the top side, realize he has nothing left, and he's going to be 1/4 of the jungle down. He's going to be so far behind by the time the first turtle spawns. This is absolutely nightmarish for Odia Bambi. Now he has to make the decision. Do I walk the wave, walk into top lane and steal Aso's EXP, or do I try and go in for the invade? And get the Little Wanderer first, but he might die if he walks in.
Yeah, and the worst part is the fact that Clint does require a lot of farm for him to come online. First power spike will be definitely the endless battle we should be looking out for.
LY4 is level 4. Of course they're going to force it. The Death Sonata coming in. The damage. A1A2 manages to get out with the flicker, but they knew, again, RSG is so good at this. Understand there's a power spike. LY4 is ready to fight. Let's go. And they force onto A1A2. Without that flicker, he's a lot more vulnerable compared to when he had it. Looking for a bit more here. Azura X, if he walks in, he's going to take a swing to the face and back off.
And that's what we call the Grok damage early game. It's something to be respected about. Turtle will be spawned already. RSG is already on the ball. Don't forget, Odia Bambi is still level 3. He needs that level 4.
He needs to take the EXP. He needs to take
as much EXP. But look at the wall coming in from the side of Azura. Azura X down pretty low. RSG going to step out. ESO will be trying to snipe, but I don't think there's any way this Turtle will be getting away from RSG.
RSG have an insane early game. Like, full credits to them. Like, Sync coming in too just allows them to play this. I don't know if, and I can't 100% credit him for this, but hold on, Aso is going to fight Sync here. LY4 and Sana are there for the reinforcements. They could go in for this, but taking the Flowing Blood out, they don't want to contest this. LY4 actually has the Death Sonata. They're going to get the first blood here, and that is going to go the way of LY4. This is going from bad to worse. As Fossa, he puts up the wall. They're looking to jump in. Azura X is left the wall. He sacrificed to RSG, SG, A1A2 now might be the next target, but they're happy with the one pick off. A great Grok block coming in from Fossa.
Odia Bambi, he's not up to that. He's not there yet in terms of the damage. He's not there yet in terms of that farm. RSG can potentially pick up members from Kingsman one by one. All boils to that first minute. The LY4 watches in and takes away the orange buff away for Kingsman. That's a huge gamble and it paid off.
It all started actually in the mid lane, right? So they took the chip damage, but they got the mid prio. Fossa walked in, spun around, pushed the wave out, and that allowed LY4 rather, to just walk in and take Bambi's camps, and from then it just snowballed. Next turtle is going to be spawning in 45 seconds. Kingsman, there's a window now, and a small one, for them to sort of catch up in terms of farm. What you do here is you sacrifice the turtle, you farm the map, you push out the waves, and you steal the jungle camps. They need to recognize this. They need to say, okay, if everyone is going to be on the bottom side taking turtle, Bambi, you're walking top. You're pushing, you're taking the objectives.
Yeah, I really agree with you. Kingsman, they really have to play the late game right now. They have the Atlas, but hold on a second. Top side, it's already gone. The wall will scout out Azura X. The members of RSG is setting up for this turtle, even taking down the Little Wonder, but they're probably looking for some pickups in the mid lane. I don't think that's going to happen.
Kingsmen cannot stay around. They shouldn't be contesting this. Forza next to the wall, cannot be slowed, cannot be controlled. Going to be running back and grouping up his team now. Looking for a bit more is RSG. Look at the knockup coming in. This is what we said. Oh my goodness. A1, A2 instantly dies. There's no reply from Kingsmen. Where's the damage? Bambi isn't online yet. He needs the farm. There's no nukes either because Loon does not have meteor shower either. They can take their time with this one. Dot the I's, cross the T's, take the turtle. RSG, SG. 4.5 minutes in there, close to 5,000 gold a hit.
Yeah, super clean game over the side of RSG, right? A1, A2 unable to even heal out the burst damage coming out from Jason. Now the RSG members are going to work on the bottom side here. Loon Force the flicker will be coming in, but Sana coming in at the same time. Loon's looking super low, but he's going to get healed. Thank you for A1, A2.
Grouping up again, this is the RSG SG strat. Bot top tier 1 taken, it's fine. We'll just move to bot side. We'll try to dive Loon, we force his flicker, force everything out. Meanwhile, on the mid side, Jason and Foss are just holding on strong here. Making sure that they have lane priority so they don't lose mid tier 1. The rotation coming in RSG SG, they want to punish. If Kingsmen stick around too long, they will die. Window for them to just farm the jungle camps. Bambi needs to take... The moment they reset, like the moment a camp is up, Bambi has to take it away.
Yep, Sana actually bought the NOD, which gonna work wonders against A1, A2, even the Alice at the same time. Fossa landing down the wall, but he's not gonna follow up with the ultimate because LY4 is not in position. So very good call coming up from RSG side. Now let's take a look at the map once again. A bit slow game in the mid game, but understandable because Kingsmen, they cannot commit to any form of team fights. Look at that gold lead, it's way too far apart. Look at the map control. RSG has it in the map.
Interesting here is that they're still forcing, right? They accelerated their goal curve so much that they're strong right now. I think LY4 should have his core item soon, if not already completed. Mio on the back line. Hold on here, they're grouping up. Kingsmen, they don't want to be here. Look at the damage coming, the knockup, the grapple. Oh my goodness, Kingsmen are just falling like flies. I say that though, they managed to turn it around onto Fossa. Members of Kingsmen somehow get out, barely in the nick of time. Low health bars all around, but it was a commitment from RSG that went the way of Kingsmen instead.
Yeah, but if you take a look at RSG, drop a hold on second. Sing might spell a little bit of trouble. Audio Baby will be able to find Sing at the back line. Sing forced to fly, run away, but the members of Kingsmen are chasing. But take a look at the cross map as Sing goes down, definitely. But RSG takes mid lane, opening up that map, and they are going to work on the bottom side. And after that, they're going to rotate over the turtle. So RSG playing the macro game to its fullest.
Ultimately, RSG, they're the ones that come out ahead with everything. They have close to a 5k goal lead now. Yes, Kingsmen, they got the kill onto Sync, but they lose the turtle, they lose the mid tier 1 like you said, they lose the bot tier 2 like you said, and now they're going to open up this goal gap even more. Look at the items coming. LY4, he's starting to move towards the big ticket items a lot.
Gonna go for the BOD
pieces,
first.
Yep, a lot of pieces being completed. Now it's actually not really the endless battle first.
LY4 is gonna definitely go for the BOD first, but hold on a second. Jason, big damage on top of Azura X, but that's the Paquito power coming in for them. But of course, Audio Bambi is struggling to accomplish that big ticket item, but Fossa will be able to just run away because he's immune to the CCs. Kingsman in disarray.
He's spamming the emotes, he's getting in their hits. This is psychological warfare at its finest. Fossa, knowing that as long as he sticks to the walls, he's going to be able to walk in for his team. LY4 actually leading a charge. This could be dangerous. Look at the backline coming in. It's going to be Jason though. Where's the knockup? He doesn't really find it. Now, Kingsmen, they're regrouping. They have a 5-man unit. Meteor Shower comes out. They're forcing RSG away. Jason very low on health. They didn't find the entry point that they want, and because Sync wasn't there, they were not fully ready to commit into that fight. Now, Kingsman making a rotation topside, looking for Sync. He is somewhat tanky, but Kingsmen, they choose not to handshake this because RSG is around too. Both teams giving a lot of respect to each other, knowing that everything is on the line. RSG, they take the easy objective. It's mid-tier 2. Now they're chasing for the Olia. Bambi, the stun coming in. He might just go down here. Bambi again. He gets caught out. We saw this in game 1. It's coming alive again in game 2. This is going from bad to worse to horrible for Kingsmen. 8k goal lead for RSG SG.
Dude, it's so hard for Kingsman to actually climb back down. The Death Sonata will be used, but it misses everything. But the damage has been done. A1, A2 is activating Meteor Shower all the time. RSG is starving Kingsman out of in terms of the goal. Just take a look at the goal lead. Map control, RSG. Audio Bambi still not even a single item completed. LY4, that BOD is going in. Is going to be building towards more magic resist because of ASO. That could potentially spell disaster in the late game. A1, A2 damage coming in as well as even Loon. So he wants to tank more magic resist. In fact, Athena's shield is already complete.
Yeah, I love the item, right? It keeps him alive. He knows that his damage is there. They don't have any true tanks on the Kingsman side, save for a pseudo tank in the form of the Alice. Everyone else just melts. to the damage coming in from LY4. Like, Bambi only has 4 or 5 health bars, so there's no way he's tanking a full Death Sonata. As Fossa, he's sticking near the walls, playing in the trees, knowing that he cannot get caught out, throws the wall out as well. Trying to deny this, but Azura X jumping in. You can see Jason, he's looking for this. First knockup is there. Fossa on the back line. They already picked up the Lord across the map. I love how RSG are presenting a threat, knowing that they can take the objective across the map.
Yeah, they're abusing the fact that they can go in the 4v5. You noticed early on just now, Sync was actually putting some pressure on the top side. RSG is making sure the Kingsmen, the whole team is in check with just 4 members, abusing the fact they've got more gold, they've got burst damage, they will be able to burst down A1, A2 just in case, no matter how much heal you have, right? Sana already has the necklace already ready to go.
Also still looking for this, he's holding off the side. It's a split push coming in on all sides of the map, a 3-prong approach, a 3-prong attack with the Lord being the main focus. Look at the damage coming in! Oh my god! Where did he go? A1, A2 instantly dead, a mid inhibitor next to fall. Here comes the Lord pushing in Kingsmen. They have to mount a final defense here. They need to do something, they need to hold on. Otherwise, they're going to be out of playoffs. RSG taking their time, moving towards the top side, taking down the top inhibitor first. They don't have to pressure this. Now the Lord is dead. There's a moment of reprieve for Kingsmen. RSG, you can see they're trying to put the chip damage down, testing the water, making sure that they can possibly go in to finish this one off. Aso, he was looking for it, but the damage isn't there. RSG, would they want to go in for this fight?
I don't think
also still on the outside of the core.
I really don't think Kingsman can actually take this fight at all. The wall coming in, but I feel like RSG, they're really slowly losing. Sing gets stunner damage, will get melted up, but a major shell at the same time. The Death Sonata lands, but it doesn't hit. The Kingsmen, they're all putting out. All turrets go down already, so only nothing left to hold back. Kingsmen, they have to put everything in and hope to win this game.
At least they managed to hold off the push for that much longer. Kingsmen, they buy themselves another life. But for how long, God only knows. Singh has 10 seconds left on the clock to come back up. Fossa on this Grok has been immeasurable in terms of contribution for his team. Just setting up the plays, allowing for Jason to come in with a follow-up on top of that Grok wall. We see the pressure, right? It's the knockout punch following the Grok wall that does so much against Kingsmen. And every time they group up, every time they die.
And every time that Kingsman is forced to use the Meteor Shower just to wave clear, that means that there's no form of damage in the kit of Kingsman. You saw how RSG as you go in. One punch, that's it. Half health. No matter how much health you have, it's not going to be useful.
Now, we talked about this timing. 10 to 12 minutes is normally when the Alice comes online, right? She's starting to get the items, starting to get the ball rolling. A1, A2 also needs to keep them alive, right? ASO and A1, A2, they need to partner up. This sustain has to be crucial. ASO already has, actually doesn't even have the winner's truncheon, so that's going to be problematic. If he jumps in, it's a one-way ticket in. There's no way out.
Yeah, and so ASO has to play very smart, right? Audio Bambi, if you notice, is slowly building up to the Berserker's Fury. 3 items already completed for the side of LY4. He's going to do a lot of damage. He's also have the Hunter Strike, so which means that more armor penetration is going to be able to relocate even faster. Now, Kingsmen, they just have to wave clear as much as possible, hope for the late game, but it's 10k gold lead.
10k in favor of RSG. If there was ever a mountain so big, Kingsmen are standing at the foot of it, trying their best to ascend. Last defense moments upon us as Kingsmen. They're just clearing out the waves at RSG. They know that there's another 40 seconds of the Lord. They don't have to commit in. They don't have to risk this fight. All they have to do is take the Lord and run in with that objective. They should be able to close out this game, but Kingsmen, backs against the walls.
27 seconds on that Lord. Kingsman still needs as much item as possible because Winter Trunking is going to do that Alice a lot more, giving more survivability. But the problem is, Odia Bambi, technically speaking, without the abilities, he's actually going to the short range. Now, the wall will go in, not much follow-up because LY4 is actually very far apart. Now, Fossa, he cannot afford to get caught right here.
Lord will be spawning right now, Jason across the wall. He's a bit overextended, but he's completely fine. He's Paquito, he has the mobility, Azura X, Odia Bambi, A1, A2, they're walking in. They found Jason here, but they don't have the damage to take him down. They're grouping up, they need to contest this Lord. Across the map though, it's ASO alone. That's your Alice, that's your late game insurance. She's not in this fight. She's picked up the winner's truncheon, but she's nowhere near this as Lord should go the way of RSG. Here's a circling eagle, Azura X coming in, but meanwhile in the backline they're finishing off the Matilda. He should be dead here, jumping in Fossa. He gets knocked away. ASO coming in, trying to do something for his team. He's holding up the backline. LY4 actually getting focused down, but no! He flickers across. LY4 should be able to kill him after the winter truncheon. And ladies and gentlemen, you have to think that this this is RSG walking it in and closing out the game.
Yeah, the moment RSG, the Lord is going to be marching down anytime right now. Kingsmen, they're holding on as much as possible. The meteor shower coming in, Sing coming in with the ultimate as well. The Lord is marching down RSG. They just have to clear as many minutes as possible. Make sure this is the final GG push that RSG needs.
They're looking in, they get the core, that is 2-0 RSG. They are in the finals, they'll see EVOS SG. Kingsmen, they get knocked out. The Cinderella story not to be
realized at all. It is not even going to be a 2-1. It is a 2-0. Clean game all throughout the